Ackerman is going to be on an
Damn,
absolute
got
tear.
out.
But I see a world where this
Fast
works,
there
and
in
it's going to
China.
start with DRG going
Don't mess about, do they?
out towards mid
Parker, thank you so much for the tier 1, bro. Appreciate that. Okay, we got DRG on defense. We got Nova on attack. And with a Vice Clove. Oh, dude, we're speaking about the Clove. We get a Clove. Dude, DRG plays some mad comps.
You called him a raid boss earlier. I think that is an accurate.
They double smokes. They want to retake.
It's gonna have to be a retake.
Jesus.
Oh, perfect prediction from Ackerman, and that makes it doable.
Definitely a little bit. I don't know if worried is the right word, but interested, I guess, at this guy's agent pool.
Swirl is here though in lane, waiting and buying time. Shock dart though good onto Ackerman, so
Play double neon clove.
denies the fight from ever occurring, and Swirl gets that opportunity to fight from lane at his leisure.
Damn nice though.
And Swirl
where are we at with the pistols? I'm pretty sure it's 3-2 now. Second pistol for Nova.
That's right. 2 out of the 5 as well. You know, one more and we are split straight down the middle, which is what this series has felt like. I mean, it's one of my points when we started, right? Like, these two teams are actually really close.
I mean, that was a nuts one.
Wow,
that really was.
As well. That's nasty. They really are
Dino with the
contested.
Prime, the 15 rounds. Thank you so much. Chat, everyone say hello to my dad. Did I get the Prime as well, Dad?
Damn. Now looking for a chance to change that
On it.
round. Maybe bring things into a more doable situation for themselves. A
Thank
buy
you
to
so
come
much.
through, but Ackerman, what a shot to open it up.
You know, we talked about Spirits being a raid boss in the last game on Icebox. This time, all the attention goes back to Ackerman, right? With Spirits going back onto that kind of more supporty type of role for this team. On
This
yeah,
this Ackerman guy is pretty talented, but again, I'm worried about his agent pool.
More of an aggressive agent, more of a selfish agent in certain situations.
LLEEAA with the Prime as well. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate that.
Chance for it, and CB wants to go swinging and takes out Ackerman early. Picking the Vukashu here. He has to fall back. Swirl flashed up, takes a little bit of time, but CB will eventually take care of that.
Who gets the plan on this?
Plant to come through.
Yeah.
All of these.
I was thinking that maybe they put over towards the server, but
Nova. And at this point, DRG is playing that damage game.
A lot of utility invested to get the Vice off position and get control of the site, but that's the thing, right? Getting control of the site. Now they have that. Yes, they are losing a couple of players here and there, but they still do have control. The spike is down. They continue to hemorrhage players. This is becoming a problem.
They got kind of close.
They will stabilize.
It got kind of close.
2 players left.
Dude, I need to look at this. I need to look at the DRG comp properly.
But ultimately,
it's such a weird comp.
It's good that they won the conversion, but, you know, like we kind of mentioned, that's not a round where you want 2 alive. You know, you're hoping for 5, and that shot is ridiculous from Ackerman, but you want to keep most of your players alive, and so the fact that you end up losing a couple guns there,
it's like that VIP. That's actually true. You're right.
Going to be a super tough round to try and convert, or even just do some damage, and you can see it's actually fairly heavy investment for a bonus.
There we go. Big buy rounds. And DRG want to fight over towards B main.
And there's that trade. Ackerman wastes no time.
Vice Clove. Fade.
Sure
Yoru. Omen.
This Guang Killjoy is still alive, and we saw what Guang was able to do on Icebox. Looking to repeat the performance here.
I don't fully understand the Clove.
A show of confidence to reinvest this heavily into a round that should have been a bonus. So far, both duelists are down, but with Ackerman still being up, I think I give a little bit of a favor to DRG, just in terms of, like, flat the trade game. That being said, trades generally favor
Don't see the vision, yeah. I'd much prefer like a chamber or something here, but
take some space
here we are. I think it's just
over towards B. Ackerman here,
just comfort for him.
Could be dangerous, but immediately taken out by Monk and Azir with one on deflection as well. The site fully open. Monk's gonna be able to stick that plant. 3 versus 2, and you still have this outlaw posted up, looking for damage, but no shots connect just yet. Guang falls back into the site. Vukashu takes out Monk. Now 2-on-2. Azir.
Like the worst gun for this, really. I mean, wait, they're all one shot. They all have light armor.
Some sort of a value here because Azir is in a really tough position. Trap towards lane could cause some sort of damage, but Azir starts to
you were good. You were good.
Timing goes just a bit awry, and Vukashu.
Oh my!
Ooh, it's just a dodge, and now Azir a 1v1 after trading out Nick.
Damn, bro. That's a nice round in the end. They get the bonus as well. Oh, dude, DRG are in trouble.
The string is alive.
And I don't think the comp's going to be able to bail them out too much.
The god spot, all right. Azir was in the perfect position to hold on there. A little bit unfortunate that his teammate gets flashed out so unceremoniously and instantly does get taken off the board. But he does a really good job of playing around this. And in fact, this Clove Smoke, funnily enough, played into his hands more so than it did for DRG. So kudos to him for maintaining that control up to 3. The force in that previous round pays off, and now they have a huge advantage into this, but they're about to walk into a party.
That was sick.
Flexing.
Yeah, that's kind of scary. They might want to get out of here.
Just do that.
It's actually devastating for them because the Solver's like the agent.
I love that it's made
the
anti-eco like completely second guess their willingness to push the site. Oh, there's a Bucky here. He got 1 kill. All right, slow down, hit the brakes.
Dude, I'm not sure I like the comp.
Still obviously re-hit this. They've drawn out
in the whole best of 3.
Yeah, they all dodged the horns instead of shooting it.
I think I hated all 6 comps.
You can actually see they're looking to reinforce mid a bit here with Guang taking so much space. This flank could be huge, but it is predicted. It is suspected.
Guang might be known.
The
clear. Spirits gets it.
Oh god, they're gonna get ecoed.
Outlaw today.
Big dash in. What can you get back a sight? Anything?
Swirl out on the site. Nick back towards hell. Flexen's gone, so is Nick. There is 1 trade, but Swirl wants a little bit more as this 2-on-3 about to take place. And just Spirits.
I mean, he is absolutely wrecking everyone.
Looking just for that final kill. Monk now just has to dodge all these bullets.
3 upgrades. Oh boy.
So DRG, not exactly a thrifty, but it might as well.
Yeah, that first Bucky kill decided so much.
This is another round.
Then it just turned into complete madness.
Ridiculous
trying to solo play bottom and middle.
Round where they had no right to get anything done. The suspicion that there is going to be this lurk up. See, the problem here is that Guang is scoped in. So he
dude, the reaction in the 4v5 with to solo push all the middle with an outlaw is absolute madness.
And he just loses that fight outright.
It really is.
Puts Nova in a massively uncomfortable position right off the bat.
That's our reaction.
A really important round for DRG to win, and it's left Nova in a bit of an uncomfortable spot. I say that, so they haven't bought because obviously Swirl is going to be popping the Blade Storm.
My initial thoughts on Crowd. I actually think it's a good map.
If that can get them some results here.
I think eventually either the walls get reinforced in certain places or the Odin gets nerfed. But so far we've only seen...
Yeah.
I can't remember about the crew game. I don't think it was many, but I think we only saw 3 rounds with Odin so far. But they won every round with the Odins.
You know, Swirl and Azir really find some value. Speaking of, there he goes.
Yeah, FPX bought some Odins.
And Monk tries to take.
Damn, he got a dink off there as well.
To open things up, Wong able to trade out. After that, Swirl just
wait, the spike's down over towards middle. They might lose this. Oh my goodness, it's complete chaos.
Onto the lurker of Azir, which means Swirl.
I've never seen a team panic so much at a mid crunch.
Feels like DRG's round all the way.
There was a weird way for that round to go because once you've committed that heavily up mid, you kind of have to commit. There's no real going back from that. Swirl does attempt to and somehow manages to get away with like 3 HP. But aside from
back
that,
in the mud.
you know, he's kind of left a lot of his team out to dry. They lost a player in mid, which was meant to be kind of setting up for that pincer. And unfortunately, once that happens, they panic a little bit, and they're all trying to
I can work out if he had beaten the Fawns if the Fawns are still below him.
Change up on the fly, but they haven't really set up for it. They don't really have a protocol for this, it seems. It was just so quickly dealt with as soon as it kind of happened. So, I mean, kudos again here to DRG for taking full advantage of that. I don't think they were expecting mid to be so heavily reinforced with defenders, but it's a good read from Dragon Ranger, and it gives them, I mean, we're one round away from evening out the scoreline.
And DRG.
There's no way this is a game, man. What's going on? This is meant to be a VCT game, bro. What's going on? Why are we just running through the smoke after we hear the judges here?
Just CB. 1 versus 3. My goodness.
That's a crazy Hunter's Fury to commit to that round, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
oh boy.
We talked about flexing on this Omen, and he's making it happen right now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's kind of crazy because so CB commits the ult, gets a kill, so they get 2 in this round, recovers a gun, and part of me is like, maybe that's worth because now you have a gun in the next round. But he's looking to push this, and I suppose that's because they know that they can buy the next in any event. So
this has loads of potential.
Wants to try to keep this as expensive as possible. He got the ult orb as well, so an extra kill here. Or
does he choose to go B? If he goes out, he's dead.
Give him a little bit more to work with into that next round. But they're so set up for this, so he's not going to be allowed to get that value.
Oh, dude, I thought the Vice might give him a freebie.
Up towards heaven.
I did. They gotta stay away from A main, man.
And we're all
they gotta stay away from A main. This early smoke
now it's been a 3
is killing them.
Response.
Absolutely killing them. Look at it.
What is the solution here for Nova? What's like
that one's outrageous, man. I think he had run out of bullets as well.
The thing is, I don't necessarily think that it's a. I think it's too early.
I'm really confident he ran through and he had like 2 bullets.
It's just been a really good recovery from Dragon Ranger.
Yeah, dude, you gotta tell him to spam this smoke or at least respect this smoke.
Reading into a lot of these takes, and you know what? Despite how crazy the comp is, again,
it's a good map to prepare if you're a fast-time game change team with experienced teams are high in confidence. Dude, you should just pick whatever your best map is.
Ideally, you want to have protocols and ways
it's
of
all
thinking set up.
It's all just team. It's like whatever you guys feel confident on, and just hope it's not Icebox.
A lot of times,
people just run it down on Icebox.
It's very much a case of like, well, this is what we've been taught how to do. We've been taught the formula, but I don't know how to apply it. You know, if you give me the numbers and you give me the formula, I can figure it out. But if there are unknown quantities, I don't know how to make this work. So I think that this is kind of what DRG are leaning into. And the common term for it is cheese, but it's working.
Like, I don't know what the actual like good maps are for your team.
Was this timeout. They needed the coaches.
I would always go for whatever has like the most full process and is the most unique, but it's like unique in a good way. Not like what we saw on Icebox.
Stick to your macros. You understand fundamentally how to deal with this. So just keep calm, keep talking, and you'll know what to do.
Okay. DRG definitely back in this one. They got a lot of ults now as well.
Goal.
Okay, we get to see the Clove. Clove has ult.
Talking. Just some initial sprays. Ackerman taking the fight heavy and early. Overhearing B main does get initially pinged out by that drone. Good. Does have to fall back.
What's the backup plan for the Killjoy going in? They can't break it. 3 pass Nova towards spawn. We got the KO nade that needs to go spawn. Otherwise they're all gonna get spammed. Yeah, it's nice. Damn, that was nice. Dude, they overkilled it if anything. KO nade, Killjoy molly, and shock. That was sick.
Drift now committed as well from Spirits. A retake started early from
DRG. It's a simple round. Okay, and they're not going to hit that Omen TP or the Omen ult. Jesus, they went for the double. They tried to double combo it, but they used so many ults.
It leaves Nick and Flexen in an almost impossible
situation. Oh no, it's a devastating round for DRG to lose.
2 versus 4. At the very least, there's something there for Flexen.
Oh boy.
But Azir and Monk
They went for Fade ult into Omen and Yoru ult.
But they get to a 4th round.
But then the guy backside just killed everyone.
Protocols and a really well-placed lockdown makes a big difference. I mean, you could even see they got stalled out because they had the Vice wall.
Dude, they used 3 ults and they just lost.
So as soon as we get the jet dash towards Switch, the wall goes up and everybody has to chill. But they had the lockdown. So the lockdown buys
Dude, did the Fade ult not hit back a site?
Wall, and then they can push in onto the site. That's not something you're going to get to have every single round.
I think the Fade ult didn't even hit back a site.
Great round from them, and it was one
I think he dodged the ult, so they didn't even combo. They used Clove ult as well, because this was a disaster.
How do they turn that into momentum?
I'd have to watch it back. I think the ult stopped here and KO just chilled.
Hard to really say. The hope is
was it KO? I can't remember who it was. It couldn't have been. Can't remember who was back at site. Either way, it was really rough.
You are in such a good spot. It's so difficult for you to counter it. Spirits does get tagged up. 140 phantom headshot to the head. And this split, this defensive spread for DRG, it still looks good for them because they're pushing into that double stack on A. Flexen and Nick both here, but out of the cloudburst arrives 2, and with CB
Chill.
now in a 1 versus 3 has to clear out
it's
Nick
unlucky, he did
on
great.
the site and
See a little jiggle.
can't get the kill. So DRG, it's still a back and forth affair tied up at 4-all.
It's a good recovery as well, because it felt like Nova had garnered a lot of space for themselves. They'd gotten a few early picks as well, so it felt like they had a lot to kind of work off of. But DRG just maintain all of that control. Really great movement in terms of like rotation, right? Figuring out exactly where that next push is going to be.
Win one, lose the next, force them down to an eco.
And then winning out those fights.
Get the op out on the Yoru, let's see.
And this is the problem.
Surely we're not smoking the Yoru off though.
And neither one of these teams has built up any
smoke
sort of
bottom and
momentum.
middle to create pressure over towards mid.
And if it continues to go so back and forth, well, we may yet have a repeat.
Yeah, so they're making it look like the op could be any of these places.
Maybe we do get to see another overtime.
This op from Spirits.
Fade eye goes out as well. Smoke. Damn, they made him use double smoke though. It's kind of nice.
It's not as well as
oh shit! No way! No way! That never happens.
Spirits just completely rips apart Nova. It's just CB.
Oh god!
This round went from something to
oh my god!
Bro, I think my brain just turned off. Like, I don't think I've seen a triple collat. I don't think I thought that was possible.
Holy, it's so perfect.
It's so good.
It's so perfect.
If we all swing at the same time, he can't hit all of us.
POV. Holy, all right. Well,
it's still kind of nice though that they like smoked over towards middle to create pressure that the op was around middle, so they actually didn't think the op was there.
Speaking of things that you can't replicate, that's probably one of them. But DRG are going to be feeling very comfortable off of that one.
Oh,
wait, how did he get that one?
The play to use the Hunter's Fury up catwalk. It backfires on Nova. Nick does get the opening kill. Thankfully, there will be a trade. Immediately though, the site does get pressured, and Spirit down with that op. Makes his presence known.
I made you in so much trouble.
Now a 2 versus
good
3.
TP. He did pretty good to buy a lot of time.
Takes care of Spirits.
Oh, that's a nice flash. Oh, he missed the jump. Oh, what a shot. One bullet. Oh my goodness, dude, this game is stacked right now. This game is absolutely stacked. Speed to the tier 1. Thank you so much for the 27 months, bro. Thank you.
Right? So off the back of that previous one, turning that into a little bit of momentum, bringing themselves up to a 2-round advantage. Like, this is absolutely everything that they needed. They're going to be feeling very good about that
Send it up short with the Sova ult. Problem is the Sova ult's going to tag loads of your team,
have
but...
a tied up half, and that's really, really important because DRG tend to lean into, we've said it before, they tend to lean into more attack-heavy compositions.
I mean, I would stick with
stick
with the sight one, but it's not the worst idea. Okay,
without, like,
again, force them down to an eco.
Yeah, right? They just have the Vise to work on in terms of stall, but it's doing enough over towards B that the stacks towards A
Nova? Yeah, it's looking a little rough.
And of course, you have Ackerman as well. Spirits is...
It's still very doable, but...
much better performance than what we saw.
Like, is this comp going to be good on attack?
In terms of the Yoru.
No, not really, but it should be good. Like, it can mid-default pretty well.
It's DRG just kind of playing...
Honestly, it might be hard to play against. Everywhere gets smoked.
In a very similar vein on Lotus. It's just with a Nova that's much more activated on the other side. Steel Garden does go out to try and delay, but lucky for Swirl, there's no primary weapons being used here. It's just the Blade Storm. Seer finds Nick. CB drops into the site.
Hey, nice shots, man. Dude, Vukashi's just so nice to watch, isn't he?
Ackerman steals one in the end, but Guang and Azir, they will promise
both pick up guns. They got Omenal if they want it, and that's pretty much why Flexen's playing so far away.
Spirits and Flexen versus Guang and Azir.
What is it with Nova and this B site? They just like magically find results here. They've picked up guns. They're in a 2v2. They didn't shoot the clone. This is massive. The paranoia gets nothing, but Guang still loses the fight.
Well,
that's okay. Azir's there to follow it up. He's in Boathouse. We know it's the
don't overthink it, man.
No
my
ways,
goodness.
brother.
Scary.
From the shadows to somewhere else entirely. He's got such a good
Probably
sideline.
did it against an Omen.
Suspect the smoke is down. It's almost halved. You've got to shoot.
No.
You've got to There's no way. He just let it happen.
No, I think against any other agent it's not too bad, but against an Omen...
Devastation!
Jaw
yeah,
dropped.
That's unlucky.
Just, you have to respect Flexen for that. Just full sticking in the smoke, knows that there will not be any sort of spam to come his way. The shots are impressive from Nova to get the round to this point, but Spirits locks it down.
Bro.
No, it was Spirits at the very end. Yeah.
Bro. Alright, last round in
and
the
they got
half
some
now.
good ults. They got the ult that they tried to combo earlier.
DRG
KO ult though, so maybe Nova
can give us
can...
a little bit of a repeat of the first half on Icebox. Bearing in mind, this is on their defensive side.
Chat, you know the triple kill round.
Very good right now.
Did
so clean.
did CB
Almost
still
like
have
they
his
can't
drone?
make a mistake.
I know they reconned middle.
Oh, that Prowler's taking
I
care
do
of.
think...
Nothing to worry about there. As Flexen
I do think they might have had their drone, but they didn't use it because they thought he was middle, I think.
Nova's
They thought he was short. He did not have his drone? Dude, I wonder where he used his drone then.
Round halfway done.
It might have been from the mid pressure. He did? Yeah, okay, I thought he did. Did they really gamble? Did he really gambled that the op was over towards mid? Did again win another round because of the Killjoy ult.
Nothing of it just yet. Azir tucked in towards this corner. Position is known, but not spammed out just yet. Paranoia goes through. Ooh, and that
Mate, you got so saved by the door. You have no idea how lucky you are.
That would have been a disaster if it had.
Yeah, it would have been outrageous, man.
So good at that point.
That is an understatement.
Dude, I only got one.
All the way around. Azir and Guang both picking up opening kills. Caught out towards logs. It's now just Monking Swirl.
They didn't think you were here. Oh my goodness. That's the lineup.
Oh my god.
Dude, they had so much success over towards B.
You know what, there's a part of me that's surprised
every round that they won pretty much was over towards B.
So very nearly like it was going to be another DRG round. That retake was coming in hot and fast.
The door, if the door doesn't close there, he TPs into them, and I don't think they win this round.
Extra room to breathe for Nova. One more
Whoever the teammate was that closed the door really saved them.
A little bit more of a chance in the second half. Now, I keep talking about, you know, compositionally for DRG, what their comp is trying to accomplish.
This
right?
match feels like a fever dream, dude. So many of the Chinese games are so funny to watch.
The comp that Nova are running is standard for a reason. It is the go-to because it performs on attack and it also performs on defense. So once we swap sides here, I'm thinking there's still a possibility, particularly because they managed to snag that last round. So they've got a little bit of leeway here, a little bit of like space to play with. Even if they lose a couple of rounds, it's not going to be like
she asked her mate. She's like, "Wait, which one should I go for?"
Yeah, this kind of scoreline puts you in an interesting spot, so to speak, especially considering that
China games? No, the China games are crazy entertaining.
Generally speaking, has a bit more of a...
We watch the Pacific games, yeah, for sure, but they don't start for what is it, 10 days now?
I think I want to explain it, especially on Ascent.
9 days.
Know that this comp loves that stall type of play style between the Omen smokes, the Killjoy.
You can't mess up pointing down and left. Yeah, no, they kind of meta gamed it.
You really do have a lot of options when it comes to buying time for rotation.
Because other regions are just slowly stealing the left or right, but they really owned it with the down and up.
To really put the pressure on over towards B. The question is what this attack side looks like from DRG, right? How do you have this kind of flexible double orb smokes, Omen Clove play, especially when Ackerman, for all things considered, is on a kind of cold spell in terms of performance.
We are at 3-2 with the pistols, 1-0 for this map.
Inconsistent is a problem kind of across the board here.
Okay, this could be huge. Hey, that's nice though. They actually had 2 playing anti-flash, right? Yeah, they're 2 anti-flash.
Then we'll have 3 for 3. DRG. I think a pistol win here would be...
Yeah, got the orb, got out of there. Try and prioritize that Euro ult as fast as possible. Question mark create over towards here. And because of the smoke as well, they could have got over towards wine. Smoke bottom of mid and then flash to see if anyone's pushed over towards here. It's nice as well. Wait for the recon. Oh, dude, I don't think you should be reconning that, but
the rest of this half. But Nova still looking to run it back, get things to that tie.
There's a nice shot.
Shock dart.
Oh my god, extra bullet.
The gate crashes out and the dueling paranoias as well. Azir and CB both on this B site. Just holding.
Good luck,
for
CB,
now.
mate.
Spirits takes that opener. CB needs to get some frags, but
can
only find one headshot.
No way, my guy's on 17 HP. How's he killing everyone?
And now Monk just jumping. Classic right clicks leaves Swirl alone in a 1v3. The first fight taken. That's a good shot, but the double swing, they almost
20 HP. Oh my god, I thought he did it. Actually thought he did it. It was so close, dude. He's dinking everyone.
But it still goes the way of DRG.
Double dink, man. If there was just a little bit less HP on those players, he somehow clutches that. But unfortunately, not enough done earlier in the round. Not enough that he could clean up off of. And it's going to be DRG with, like we said, a potential momentum extender of a pistol round. And important, and you can see the coaches as well. They know how important that pistol was. You can see the frustration on their faces and the devastation. Nova.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, whenever they beat DRG,
4-2 in the pistols, pretty rough.
But this time around,
1-1 on this map.
Might not be given that opportunity again.
The armor, no, the armor really did save him.
Just a full eco for Nova. Any kills you get would be huge in just providing an opportunity to win that third round, that bonus round.
Yeah, they pretty much fully invest into it.
We know where DRG are headed, right? They're on track for 9. Mm-hmm. Do we think DRG could like snowball through the rest of this half, or do we feel like Nova has more fight than that?
I mean, could absolutely. There is definitely a world in which they make that happen. But I sincerely hope not. I've said, you know, Nova have had a lot of shining
Oh, it is a really well-timed Omen flash.
Situations where it felt like they
Nothing. Wait, did they actually just stop them from going here? Oh, wait, dude, wait, what's going on?
So I'd love to see them be able to put
They're
up
gonna run up short and they're gonna have like 5 seconds. Wait, this is nuts.
So we look
Dude, Monk has double flash and nade. The smoke comes down. Dude, this KO molly.
In the next round would be pretty good.
Holy, the KO molly is so good. 5 seconds.
Little choke point into a meat grinder. There's a chance here. A jumping
Jesus. Look at the HPs, bro. 47, 8, 51. How did they still manage to win this round?
2 players tucked in towards hell.
God, that was a really...
Across these 3 players, that's one.
Whoa.
Right click for the second,
Dude,
but
he thought he was short.
not suspected.
He thought he was short behind smoke.
Just barely. DRG scraped
My
that
goodness.
second round by.
The cancel of
Man.
the cancel of B at like what,
Another
28
one that is
seconds?
just obscenely
Wild.
close. Closer than it should have been, and definitely a lot more
Sean
expensive.
FPS, thanks so much for the Prime. Appreciate the 13 months.
Lost in that round. But is it going to make a huge difference overall?
God, it might have been
I think
one
that
of the
obviously
most
in terms of what
damage,
you were
probably the
expecting
most
going
damage I
into
think I've
that
ever
round,
seen from a
that
KO
wasn't
nade.
it. And
Did
so
so
damage
much.
getting done does
Like, it
make
must have been
things
in
a
like the
little bit more
200s.
uncomfortable, but ultimately, they've gone for a full reinvest into this.
Yeah, and
That-
this is
you've
what they
seen
get
that
from
once
the
before, and it did
orbs.
work out. So I
Trying to
don't
snowball on this one.
necessarily hate it. It's a
Picked
big
up the orbs on the
confidence play, though,
pistol.
from DRG.
Omen flash on top of this, and he's mouse
Ooh,
bugged, but he's still got a
spirits.
kill. Oh, mate,
Out of the
that's the game.
dimensional drift and into
That is the
2
game right
kills.
there. Yeah, it's a masterclass in how to snowball,
Lays
though.
up DRG.
Pistol round, ready, trying to make sure they can
Double digits.
enable the Yoru
Talked
to get the
about
ult into
snowballing,
this
and
round
is how
early.
it starts. You win that bonus round.
Kept it simple.
Force Nova
Split
to
over
save
towards A,
3
get the
guns
Omen in the
here.
corner, Omen flash off. If there's anyone here, they're pretty much just isolated. The person on the other side, the side can't help him.
Map 3s. We talked about how Nova loves taking DRG to map 3. This could be a chance for
Juniper
DRG
with the
to
Prime,
change
thank
that
you so much,
narrative
dude. Thank you
to
for the
no
14
longer
months.
choke these series out against Nova.
Yeah, this is... I mean, this is feeling like it's already a save angle. Oh my god. Yeah.
Pro players
There
make
was
you
a
want
part
to
of me that
learn
had like
Yoru.
a
Yeah,
moment
Yoru's
where
really
my
strong.
brain just like turned off for a second.
It's way
and the
harder,
round
man.
started looking very strange. But
Yoru's
no,
one of those
perfectly
agents where like your
as
brain just
expected,
melts a little
yes.
bit.
Holding on to
I feel like
those
there's
guns
two.
because, as
At least for
mentioned,
me,
that
there's
was a
two.
full
Neon,
force from
my brain
DRG.
melts.
It was,
Yoru, when I Yoru ult, mate, my brain
or
can't
it's
handle it.
not brave. That's not the word. It's risky. But
There's too
it
many
works out
options
perfectly
that
for them. They
I
actually
just
come out
get
of that
lost.
flawless. Don't lose a single player.
It's a
They
fun
take
age.
away
It's
a
really
couple of
fun. It is
guns
really, really
from,
fun.
Nova, they force Nova into a timeout
It is really
now
fun.
as well. Things are starting to look scary. Hitting double digits, not only double digits, but doubling the scoreline.
The amount of
as
panic
well.
of like
For Nova,
the amount of panic the first time you Yoru ult in a game is so
moments
funny.
where it felt like they could and they needed to pull back the momentum. But every time DRG have managed to just stabilize that little bit better, and that mid-rounding that I had spoken about on Lotus is starting to rear its head again. They looked really good on Icebox. They were able to make those adaptations beautifully, particularly on that second half. But that was their map pick. That was the map that you expect them to have a really good, solid understanding of, and solid protocols and solid. Like,
I mean, yeah, dude, it's great.
ideas
To,
for what you wanna be
it's like
doing
one of the
round
best
to round,
agents to
but
one trick.
This map 3 is always
Skill ceiling's really
it's
high
a
on it.
handshake map. It's the map where everyone is like, all right, I mean, it's not my
Jogama
favorite,
Yoru
but we
ult
don't
or
hate
something
it,
Yoru
so
ult.
yeah, okay,
Are they
fair
not
enough. This is
exactly?
where
Are
we'll
they
go.
not the same
So
thing?
you expect them to at least look
Are they not just taking a
somewhat comfortable
1v1
and
with a
playing
shorty?
one of the most standard comps. But this
I
is the
think they're
problem
the
with
same
standard
thing.
comp, because you can, I mean, this comp has been played since time immemorial. So the amount of anti-stratting that has gone into a comp like this.
So they
is
managed to keep the 3 save
astronomical.
guns,
Whereas
and
DRG's
obviously they don't
comp,
have
I
much
mean,
behind
you
it.
gotta stick to your fundamentals, but DRG
And
have
Nova
just
decide to
been
go
on
for the vision
top
strikers,
of it.
and Vukashu
No
realizes
way,
early on,
surely
and
you
he
don't
has
just
his
get
flash
two like
ready
that.
for the push,
Okay, so
and then just
the
pushes over
Valor
towards
plant
B mains
strategy
early, so he can't get
was-
shot from the side. Man, he handled this well.
Vukashu
Rest of
go
his team
kill
can
in
just
B main,
rush over towards A.
and even though they did a normal
Dude, Vukashu's
play
great though.
for mid,
He's actually great.
Swirls
Again, this
basically gonna
guy's
have to
been
save
playing
again.
for a long time. Like he's been playing since the game came out. We used to practice
really
against him
nothing
quite a
you
lot.
can do
He's a
here.
beast.
This is another save from Nova.
That's devastating. Off the back of a very similar type of round as well. And they're forced to have to hold on to just the 3 weapons.
Nova,
like
yeah. I mean, they went for the vision
That's them
strikers,
going up
but
to 11. Nova invested a little
it's a
bit in the
little,
round as well.
it's a
We've
little
seen
obvious
rounds
when
before
you
where they
have
like
when
2 or
you
3
have your
pistols
own
and then
timeout.
maybe like 2 rifles.
Like
And
it
they
normally
come out on
works
top
if
of
it was like
Usually
if this
it's
was
off
the other
back of,
score
like,
line,
one player going
and
a little bit nuclear.
if it was like
This
this
time,
and they called the timeout,
they're
then
just
I
being
could
shut
understand it.
out.
Like they called it.
Round
Wait,
after round after round. 2
Yeah,
remain
they called the
for
timeout.
DRG to close out this series. And I'll be honest, first map at a 13-8, the second at a 14-12.
is this the new Ascent meta comp? No, it is. I promise you, it's not.
Yeah, especially because this is the stage opener.
You got
right? This
you
is
got
how
4
you're
good
entering
pieces though.
stage 2, the statement you're
Like
making.
this is great.
It just feels a bit flat. So you want to try, even if you don't win, you still want to try and get as many rounds on the board. You still want to show that you're a team that can be threatening, that can fight for a playoff spot. Good utility combo.
It actually tanked a lot of damage trying to
Here
get
it's
this up.
70 HP.
Had a molly and a shock for it. Yeah, that's a better way to do it.
What's crazy to me is how DRG plays so much of this is like a death ball. You know, like defaulting is not really a thing. They just kind of run it down, and they'll have someone like towards the extremities for like a little bit of
Defaulting's not a thing.
or,
They just run it down.
Flanks, but for the most part, they're just like, you know, we move as a team.
Yep. Well, they have two modes. They have run it down fast and run it down slow.
Okay, they find the alarm bot.
Well, it's more run it down and walk it down.
They break the alarm bot. They smoke
better way to
mid,
put
and
it.
it's the smoke that means that they could
see
creep out either side. It's
Right
double
now
vision
they're doing
block.
the walk it down mid strat. Already in towards market. They do have one player lurking over towards B main. And this is that sight hit ready to come through. Decoys out. Swirl holding towards CT.
The
but can't get the
widest
shots
swing
to land.
ever.
Flexen will be able to take
Yeah,
out the
Swirl
duelist
crazy
for
and
Nova.
confident.
And this is going to be the rotate called. They want
Dude,
to
the
go
rotate
into
pivot
this
through
A-side
mid over
flank in
towards
such
A.
tough spot,
Mate,
but
they're
still
like
able to
showing
get away
off,
with
man.
one.
What are these rounds that they're
You do
doing?
have Azir over towards A main, taking that timing, dropping the spike. 10 seconds left. Has to be a drop onto the site. Ackerman
Oh,
going
sorry.
in. Just being able to stick as Spirits drops in. 2-on-2, waiting for CB to rotate through heaven for bullets.
He's
Has to
creating a
back
lot of
up.
pressure. The big
Spirits
Joe
gonna
from
take
heaven
that
here.
swing. And it's all
they not see
about
each other?
these 2 1v1s. Ackerman and CB over here towards heaven. Leaves CB
Mate,
alone,
some of the
1v2,
stuff they're
and
doing
can't
is
get it
outrageous
to
from
go.
DRG, by the way.
Spirits
It is
will lock
outrageous.
Things in at series point for DRG.
So many of these rounds, man. It's what I was saying just now. There's these rounds that feel like they could have and they should
Yeah,
have.
what are the
This is one
groups?
of those
Are
rounds.
DRG are in a
They
different
absolutely
group to
could have, but
FPX or
unfortunately,
same group?
They didn't. And again, I mean, DRG. Yeah, I'll say it out loud. There's a lot of craziness.
They're in the same
how
group?
We see
Oh, this will be
plays
fun,
set up
man.
in this region, right? The types of comps that they play, the types of
This will be
approaches,
fun.
the types of exits.
Dude, I think
but
FPX come top of that group.
the fundamentals of like swing together, make sure that you're not getting caught alone, play off of utility, like these simple concepts are still incredibly strong, and DRG are using that to perfection. Map and series point here for DRG.
Oh, CB goes walking in, and Ackerman beheads.
Well,
Bashu swings in to take care of
there we
Wong,
go.
and that feels like a
Yeah,
wrap.
dude, the DRG
Mom
FPX,
falls
whenever
to
that
an
game is,
Ackerman
it's going to be a
4K,
banger.
who gets active in the last
When is that
moments
game?
of Ascent for DRG to start stage 2
That's quite
strong.
it's quite a while away.
2-1
July
win
24th.
over Nova.
And history was not about to